Hey, it's Ed here. On today's video, we're going to be diving into the altcoin markets and taking a look at what is currently going on and how can we take advantage of it. So overall, on a higher time frame, we're going to be today looking at the TOTAL3, which is again excluding Bitcoin and ETH, so all the other cryptos are involved. Here, the higher time frame that we've been talking about has been this kind of a structure where we had this as 1, 2, and looking for another 1, 2. This red line here around January 2024 is marking the extension of time that it took to create this potential cycle 2 of a higher degree than we would be looking for here. So we should, and I would hope that we take out or come back down and start moving up before this 1-to-1, because generally the smaller time frame degrees should be lasting less time than the higher degrees. So but we don't need to be talking about that scenario if it goes beyond here, what it means, but just note that January next year is going to be kind of important, but we can talk about that later as well. Obviously 5-wave up looks very decent here, again using log scale, and since then we came down in a couple of different ways of looking at it. You could be saying that we have a diagonal here and having this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only way to label this in 5 again would be some kind of weird looking structure here. There is no overlap between these lows here and these highs, so you could have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without any kind of overlap, and you don't need to be labeling it as a diagonal. However, it kind of fits into the diagonal pattern. Generally, you don't want to be seeing this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because you would have diagonals on both ends, and that is not very common. The other way of looking at this is that you would have this as an A, B, and then C. If we are looking at the extensions here, let's try to get these fitted pretty decently. We can see that the 1.618 is not even tagged until all the way down here. Again, we are on a log scale. On arithmetic scale, this is hitting 1-to-1 here. So what does this mean? To me, the more probable scenario, instead of this being a 5-wave, is that this is a 3-wave structure. Although, I have to admit, this kind of consolidation here kind of fits into that idea of having a wave 4. You could have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. It's definitely not the best looking structure, this 5-wave here. But if we want to be labeling this as an ABC here, that would be it. That would be the way to do it. But yeah, both are of course a possibility still. There's no invalidations whatsoever. Broken. Of course, invalidation for the idea that this would be a 5-wave to the downside is all the way up in here. And for the ABC, there's no invalidations at all. So this is again basically the medium time frame possibilities. Now, both of these counts do end up at these lows here, January 2023. Since then, we had a good run on altcoins, and since then again we consolidated and now coming back down. This is happening on multiple altcoins where we've had this kind of a structure going up. We're going to be diving into 2, Solana and Mana, later on this video, but first looking at this structure. And as we talked about on the previous videos, or a couple of previous videos about TOTAL3, this was the target. The initial target was this low here. Since we were creating a structure going up, we were looking for a structure coming down. So what is the main idea here overall? Well, this again, we talked about how this can be a 5-wave or a 3-wave. If we want it to be a 5-wave, this is the way to do it. A diagonal in here looks pretty decent. Again, there's no overlap between wave 1 and wave 4, so you could have this as some kind of 5-wave as well, if you want to be labeling these in 5 ways. To me, these look better in 3s, so that's why I have it as a diagonal. It's not the perfect one, but that's it. What we got is what we got. 3-wave back here into the lows, and then 3 ways up. finishing RSI cycles, and yeah, this looks pretty decent to me. We have now taken out the lows of this move here on 4 hour, and most likely going to be taking out the lows there as well. The only concerning thing about this is that we're going to be taking out this low here. This doesn't mean that we have divergences forming here, which is again bullish at this point, hidden bullish, but it's not what we would be expecting at this point. Generally, we would want to see something more like this that we have still on the weekly time frame. Of course, this can turn into this kind of weekly time frame where we have this pump, and even on daily we can pump up higher and close this cycle above these lows here. But again, that would require some decent pump for the rest of the day, basically, so the market could catch up. But for now, again, this came back down to the targets that we had here at the lows. We were talking about some of the targets here for the B wave, and this was the minimum, this 854, and it tagged it basically perfection, and then is now consolidated a bit up. Some altcoins are moving a bit higher at this moment already, but there is still no divergence here on TOTAL3. So if you want to be trying to snipe the bottom here, there is definitely a chance for that to be done. Overall, this looks very decent to me at this point. We're still looking for this move up on that C wave. Overall, I don't believe that this was the structure that we had here, based on everything, basically all the structures that I had. Of course, could it be that we had an ABC like so into these lows and have this as an ABC like we potentially had on Bitcoin? That is possible. My main idea is still this one, where we had this as an ABC coming down, but again, we have to acknowledge the same idea that we had on Bitcoin, that this was an ABC like so, and now we have already completed an ABC here. And well, if that is the case, well, there's not much we can do at this point. If you're not short, hopefully you have some positions that you're short. You see the targets. Yeah, 61%. Arithmetic scale doesn't provide anything, so that's why I'm using log scale again. Some targets here. Yeah, somewhere around here. 116 billion. But again, I don't like to project that as of yet. If we break, well, let's see how and when this comes into play more. If we break the 1.618 of this move from these lows, here, 240 billion. Oh, I had it here. Okay, so 240 billion. This is the line that we need to be watching. If the altcoins or the TOTAL3 breaks this, then to me it does mean that we don't have a structure like this. It can come up all the way down here to expanded B pocket, where we would have an A, B, C, where this would be in 3, this would be in 3. Sure, that would be super extended, but it would be still valid, I guess. And then we would have looking for at least 5 waves for that wave C. At that point again, if we take out the low here, everyone will turn bearish. I will turn bearish here after we take out this. Arithmetic scale 227, even lower. So first target is the 240. If we break that, to me, I'm not really looking at that at least yet, but of course that is also a possibility. But yeah, I'm still looking for that C wave wherever we're going to be pivoting, looking for smaller time frame 5 waves on altcoins, and then looking for a pump. when everyone again has turned bearish. Solana, one of the favorites that I had. Of course, this still has that same overall potential of having this as an ABC here, but I do like the idea that this is the start of something instead. At this point, we have come down in 3 into W, 3 into X, and then we were talking about how this was the target. We're looking for the last video we had, I think Solana wasn't that, where we had this as a diagonal, looking for a pump up. That pump up did come back to the 50% retracement. Yeah, tagged it and then started to go down. It only hit the 23.6, which is why I'm using that nowadays and not the 38.2, because again, these things happen. I was not going to be shorting here because if this was something else, I needed the price to go up. Here it looked like a fire wave. We had to come down for something else, and then we had a very small partner leg to it. And also it was basically at the middle of nowhere. It was not an easy short. But again, that overall played into the same direction that we had as an idea. A, B, and now we came down, crashing down, targeting again 1-to-1 on both. Wave Y extension here, $15. Wave C extension targets $14.9. So again, that was the C wave target, and this was the wave Y target. They both came down a bit lower to the next potential area where we have, well, somewhat overlapping fibs. So yeah, definitely an interesting area here, and I'm already on long side on this. But yeah, that is Solana. Overall, very same idea as in TOTAL3. If this indeed is impulsive, if this is the start of something, well, you know what we're going to be looking for, another move up. Mana is one of the other ones, which is again another possibility for looking for kind of extensions to the upside, and where again, instead of this being a 1, ABC is more likely in my opinion. Here to me, again, I don't see this to be anything part of previous. Mana is one of the few ones that really has a good look for this to be done, for this to be the start of something new. Again, invalidation is so close here that I really like this. Although you can see the setup is 12% away here. Look at the upside. You're only looking at the 16.1, the risk to reward ratio. That is the only thing that you're looking at. 12% drawdown, you calculate your position size with. If you're willing to lose 100% or $100 a trade, for example, you would be losing 100% or $100 here as well. And you just need to be calculating your position size properly. But yeah, this was the setup for Mana. I really like this as well. Solana and Mana both are really good. At this moment, the retracement here coming down was not hit, or can't even hit the 1-to-1. So again, the only options is somewhere in here. 786 is kind of lining up with the 1-to-1 extension of this WXY, which we did hit. We went a bit lower, extended to the 30 cents area, and now we could be looking for up a bit more. But yeah, that is that. That is Mana. We went through Solana and TOTAL3. You know my expectations. I'm bullish until we break this one on altcoins. Different altcoins going to be performing a bit differently. Some have this more as a 3-wave, where again that allows that altcoin to extend way lower as well into that 1.618. Depending of course how you want to be viewing it, we could be going to $3 Solana, but yeah, that is definitely something else that I'm not going to be talking about here at this point. That would be super more bearish. So that's all I wanted to say today on this video. Again, also just a reminder, make sure to check out BitKet and use our link in the bio to receive 25% discount on all futures trading fees. Thanks for watching and catch you on the next one. Bye bye.